Welcome everybody to What Do You Bring to the Table? I'm your host Rajiv Satyal, and I am so privileged and honored to be sitting here with Smriti Mundhra. I hope I said that right.
You did, you got it.
I'm so glad. That's a start. At least we get that right.
I didn't have to use my coffee house name, which was nice.
Yeah, what is your Starbucks name or your coffee name?
Natasha.
Natasha?
Yeah.
I want to figure out how we got that.
There's a story.
Now we got to know the story. If it's a good story.
Yeah, I never Starbucks name, wasn't there?
Of course. My wife is Marsha. Because she's Hersha, and that becomes Marsha.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then I'm Marshall. Because Marsha and Marshall.
But then when you go get coffee together, is it confusing?
Yes, but that's on them. They should have learned to pronounce our names. So too bad for them now.
Fair, yeah.
Right, turn it back on them. So what's the Natasha story?
So when I was growing up, my mom told me I had a twin sister who lived in India named Natasha. And if I got out of line or was rowdy or tantrumy, she would just tell me that she was going to send me to India and bring Natasha here to America. And
wow.
They maintained this ruse. She and all my aunties and uncles. My dad tried not to participate in it, but they went with this ruse for years, and to the point where people would bring, when it was my birthday, they would bring gifts for Natasha, and dolls would be left with notes saying for Natasha sent to India.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How long did they keep this going? Or last week?
An embarrassingly long time.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of your childhood.
A lot of my childhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
that is saying quite a bit. So that's why you use it.
That's why. Yeah.
I would
my
not
alter ego.
use that.
She's my Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, sure. Sasha Fierce. Do you like the new Beyonce album?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a big Break My Soul fan, but Cuff It's a good song, and I like some of the other ones.
Yeah, I like the Church Girl song.
Yeah. I like the very ending.
It's mandatory to say you like a Beyonce album.
Yeah, that's the thing with it, though. It's that's kind of my thing with it. I'm she didn't put much effort into the promotion of this. She's I'm Beyonce, which she's earned.
Yeah.
But it is hard to be I don't like that Beyonce album.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're automatically uncool.
You're the hive will come for you.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, I hear that. That's really crazy. So you've done a lot of producing, a lot of directing.
Yes.
And you've been successful at both.
Yes.
And good. I wanted the audible yes.
Yes.
Yeah, then you got silent. You're no, so you give us an audible yes.
I'm trying to claim it, yes.
Yeah, no, you have. And which one do you like more? Do you, what skills do you need to be successful at one versus the other? Because they are so different.
Yeah. They're different, but I think at least the way that I approach it, there's a lot of overlap. I bring a lot of sort of my producer mind to directing and a lot of my director mind and writer mind to producing. It's so hard. It's like asking me to choose between my children. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, I love both. I mean, I guess if I had to say, I would say directing. Just because that's sort of my creative outlet, and I have the most control, and I get to be in the seat, and I get to be actually doing the thing. So I love directing. It's intoxicating. It's what I wake up in the morning to do. But producing is also incredibly fulfilling, and it's incredibly creative.
Okay.
It's I think people have this idea of what a producer is, very kind of caricatured.
Like a suit.
A suit, yeah, or somebody who's just there to say no, or give bad notes or whatever it is. But I think really good producers, and I've been lucky to work as a director with really great producers, and I try to be that producer for writers and directors that I work with. But it's you're sort of, as a producer, you're doing everything. We know that, but you're originating ideas a lot of the times, and then you're sort of building a team and creating a space for all the creatives on a project to do their best work.
Wow. And
you're kind of doing that as a director too. I don't really believe in this whole auteur theory. The director is the visionary and the one who does it all. Maybe it's a little bit from my docs background, but
sure.
I look at even directing as very collaborative, and my job is to clearly communicate what I want and keep the big picture in mind, the big sort of vision of whatever I'm making in mind, and then get everyone around me to give their best and do their best,
Right.
And so it's similar in that way.
And directing is more the day of too, right?
Yeah.
You have your hat on with that. Producing almost feels not that the producer isn't on set, but it almost feels like everything leading up and then after as well.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the
it can
curtain's
be,
up,
yeah.
it's the director's
exactly.
role, right? And do you prefer to do both on the same project?
No, actually. When I'm directing, I like to just really focus on that. I mean, there is an element of producing to all of the things I direct as well, but I think coming up in indie film, I had to do both and everything. And so one of the great luxuries of success and of sort of advancing in my career is that when I'm directing, I can work with amazing producers.
Right.
And they make me a better director. They unburden me of a lot of, sort of the practical, logistical, strategic aspects of, how to put a project together and how to get it to market and, all of that. And I can just focus on the creative. So yeah, I love working with producers when I'm directing rather than producing.
And do you like directing more on film versus TV? Because that's what I always hear about directors is, you have more power in film than TV, or is that changing?
I think it's changing. It's there's not that same delineation that there used to be between TV and film. TV is incredibly cinematic these days.
Yeah.
And pushing a lot of boundaries, and it's just faster, honestly.
Yeah,
it's like so much faster to get a TV show going or to get a spot directing on a TV show than to get a feature off the ground.
Sure.
But I honestly I'm very, I get excited by all different media. And in terms of format, form, length, genre, I like to really approach my career the way actors approach their careers, where you could do like a superhero movie and then you could go do like an art house indie. And that's what I really enjoy. It's like, I get bored doing the same thing over and over again, so I like to branch out.
How did Meralta Films get its name? So you've told us the Natasha story. Tell us about Meralta Films. I'm always interested in how people come up with their names of their production companies.
So it's another good story. So Meralta, the theater we were talking about, my parents in the 70s leased a single screen movie theater in Culver City, and that became the first theater to exhibit Hindi films in the US. And it was really a place where like the community came together, and there are people who are friends to this day, who have been friends for 30, 40 years, who met at that
50
theater.
years.
50 years, yeah. Exactly. Wow, shit.
I know, it's half a century. I know, it's so crazy to think about, because we're so used to saying 30, 40.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally over half a century.
We've been here a minute.
Yeah.
But the people who met at that theater and who kind of bonded, through that experience. And it was just, and it was also how my father got his start in the film business. The theater was called the Meralta Theater.
Oh, wow.
So it's now an office complex called the Meralta Office Complex.
So the name lives on.
The name lives on, also through my company. So all of the things that the theater represented are things that I try to embody in my work and in my company. So it felt like the perfect name.
It is such a claim to fame that your family is the first one to exhibit these Hindi films in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a legacy.
It is, it's amazing. And one day I'll write a novel about it.
Yeah, as you should. And then you can contact my brother, since he's a novelist as well as a publisher of novels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's done a few things, which has been pretty crazy. Your work, in marketing they say target everybody and target nobody, right? Your work, you have St. Louis Superman, which is a documentary about a black man in St. Louis, of course, in Missouri, state representative in Missouri, the Show Me State. Yeah. And then you also have done a lot of things that are in the Desi space, the South Asian space, et cetera. So you're not limited only to the Desi space. But that said, knowing that your work will be seen globally by people that are not South Asian, how does that influence the projects you choose and the approach that you take when you direct and produce?
I guess it's not something I'm conscious of at all, because, I think that's just the space that so many of us occupy. Like those kind of traditional walls between domestic, international, et cetera, are falling, a lot thanks to streaming, honestly. And even just as a person, I am Indian, I'm American, I'm a woman, I'm a human being, a millennial, like a human being in this world. And each of those, facets of my identity attract different interests, right? So I pursue things that I'm interested in and things that I feel like I can sort of explore some facet of humanity through, that's sort of the only through line, in all my work is trying to like ask big questions about the world we live in, about who we are as people. And I can do that through a dating show, or I can do that through, an arty, documentary. And all of it excites me and all of it informs me. I find all of it as intellectually rigorous. So, because, everything speaks to sort of a different, part of my identity. The best advice I've ever gotten, from another filmmaker I got from Shekhar Kapoor, where he says, you have to see yourself in everything that you make. And that can come in many different ways, but you have to sort of find yourself, and that's how work feels authentic and it feels real, and you're asking the right questions. And that's really what I look for, is what aspect of my identity or my curiosity am I seeing in this work? And that's sort of been my North Star.